Can you turn off the volume? Oh, you're making me nervous. Look at the way you look. Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. I think it's safe for all of us to say that all humans will be intimate with death at least once in their lives. But what if that intimacy comes long before your death, your transition from life into death? What would life be like if the dead lives alongside you? During my travel in December 2016 with my friend, we came to visit this community in Sulawesi, Indonesia. A highland community in Sulawesi, Indonesia, northeastern island of Bali, where a community of people experiences death not just a singular event, but as a gradual social process. In Tanah Toraja, the most important social moment is not family dinners, not birthdays, not family dinners, but funerals. So these funerals are characterized by elaborate rituals. It's about the ties of human systems, the people, the reciprocal debt regarding the use of animals, pigs, chickens, and most especially water buffaloes. And these animals are sacrificed and distributed in the name of the deceased, lasting anywhere from few days to few weeks. Funeral ceremonies are a raucous affair where commemorating someone who has just died is not so much of a private session, but more of a publicly shared transition. So this physical cessation of life is not the same as death. In fact, a member of society is only truly dead when the extended family can agree upon and collect the resources necessary to hold the funeral, which means to say the one who just died it means to say that the amount of money spent for the funeral depends on the status of the person who just died. If you are a chair, if you are a high-ranking position in that community, the family has to spend so much money for the funeral. And this ceremony has to take place in front of the eyes of the whole community with everyone's participation. Until the funeral ceremony, which can be held years after a person's physical death, the deceased is referred to as tomakala, a sick person, or tomama, a person who is believed to be asleep. And they continue to be a member of the household. They are symbolically fed and cared for. And the family at this time will begin a number of ritual injunctions, which communicates to the wider community around that one of their family members is undergoing a transition from life into death, also known as puya. So I know that some of you must be thinking right now, is he really saying what he's saying, that they're living with their dead relatives? Absolutely, yes. So the funeral ceremony itself embodies this relative perspective on death. It ritualizes the impact of death on families, and not just with them, but also on communities. And it's also a moment of self-awareness. It's a moment when people think about who they are, their place in society, and their role in the life cycle in accordance to the Torajan calendar. I think that Torajans socially recognize and culturally express that what many of us feel to be true despite the widespread acceptance of the biomedical definition of death. And that is that our relationships with other humans, their impact on our social reality, does not cease with the termination of life or the physical processes of the body. That there is a period of transition as the relationship between the living and the dead is transformed but not ended. So Torajans express this idea of this enduring relationship by lavishly providing them with love and attention in the most visible human of that relationship, which is the human body. So I'm not suggesting that anyone in this audience should just run out and adopt what the Turajans are doing. No. But what I want to ask, what can we gain from seeing physical death not only as a biological process, but as part of the greater human story? What would it be like to look on the expired human form with so much love, because it's so intimately a part of who we all are? If we could expand our definition of death to encompass life, if we could experience death as part of life, perhaps we face death with something other than fear. If we could entertain and value other kinds of knowledge about life, including other definitions of death, it has the potential to change the discussions that we have right now about the end of life. It could change the way we die, but ultimately, it can transform the way we live. Thank you.
I've got a question.
Yes.
It's really basic, but on a sanitary point of view, how can these people conserve a rotting body in the house without having issues with the? Do they go through a process like the Egyptians or something to conserve the body in order for it not to become rotten?
Yeah. So they still follow. They have this very traditional way of preserving the body, just like the mummies. You know, if it's been done many centuries, many ages ago. So when I came to the house, you can smell the musky smell in the house. But still, when you go in, there's still so much love and passion towards them that they are actually part of the household. Because again, as I said, they're not dead. For them, they are sick. They're only sick. They're asleep. So it's this medical issue it's been ongoing for many years, for centuries. It's a tradition. You know, they have already perfected the art of embalming, preservation of the body, and a lot of the sick, the tomakala that are in the house, they've been there for years. Why? Because the family does not have enough money to actually spend for the funeral. Because the funeral means you have to butcher a lot of chicken, a lot of animals, a lot of buffalo. When you go outside of the house, you will see horns in front of their house. And that symbolizes the status of the person and also the status of the economy, of the economical status of the family. So it's an art in itself, the way that they preserve the body, and at the same time, it's a preservation of the tradition by showing love and compassion to not just by the family themselves to their loved ones, but also the community, to whoever is part of their community. Yes, Matilda.
I respect this kind of culture, but as an investor, what will be my benefits to invest in dead people?
No, it's not investing. You're not investors. Sorry, you're just your audiences. I explain.
It can work even if as a presentation without spending, as I said, also for a non-profit. You can ask.
Okay.
You can make him uncomfortable. Okay, but even if he was not asking money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leah, sorry.